Okay guys, this is section 3.2. I've logged in as one of the students so I can make a video and I can see what MATLAB is looking like. Don't forget, this is section 3.2, just like this says. F of -7, f of 2. My x is -7. You go over to -7. What's your y? -6. F of 2, -6. You go over my x is 2, go down to -6. Pretty straightforward. 6 and 6, 0 is -3. Now, part C says, is f of 2 positive or negative? Go find your 2, go down to it. What is it? It's negative. Your x is 2, your y is negative. Is f of -2 positive or negative? The answer should be f of -2. Go over to -2, you go up to what? 6. So that answer is positive. This guy right here says, for what value is x, f of x equals 0? Who's your zeros? I have a -6, I have a -1, I have 4. Another word for that is solutions, right? And your zeros and your roots and your x-intercepts. Now, this is what I think she's having trouble with right here. The question says, where is this positive? Where is f of x positive? That's your graph. Where is this stuff positive at? It's positive from 6 to what? -3. All the stuff is up. So let's type this in, see if it's going to, let me reset that. Okay, I'm going to take a moment here, go on my side and see if it lets me. I'm going to hit similar question so I can start over. There we go. F of -28, go to -28. What is y? -4. Cool. You know f of -8, your x is what? -8. My y is 4. It tells you. Now, check answer. Woohoo, got it right. Next part, what is f of 24? What's my x? 24. What's my y? 4. Okay. What's my f of 0? F of 0 is what? That's looking like probably 2. 0, -2. Also Y-intercept. Check answer. Woohoo. F of 8, positive, negative. Go find your 8. What is your y value? -4. How do we know it's a y value? Because this is x and y. So that's my negative value. Final check. Woohoo. Cooking with grease. Now, is f of -12 positive? Go find -12, go up to it. It's what? Positive. Positive 6. For what value of x is f of x 0? What is it's asking? For what x is my y 0? F of x is what? I see a -24, a -4. So we're going to write -24, comma, -4, comma, 24. That should be my 3 x-intercepts. Check the answer. Uh-oh, Mr. Smith made a mistake. Let's check it out. -24 is one, -4 is the other one. The next one is 16 and 24. We skipped one. How many x-intercepts you have? 4. You should be able to look at them and see what you have. Cool. Uh-oh, still missed. What am I missing? I got -24. I got -4. I've got 16. And 24 is not an x-intercept. What am I thinking? That's it now. Cool. It's okay to be wrong. Just fix it. For what values is f of x greater than 0? That question is, what values is your stuff positive? It's positive starting at -24 and ending at -4. So I should say -24 is not including that 24, x, then what? Less than -4. Then we have a gap where it's negative and we pick back up at what? 16. So if I do that, I should put a word what? U there. Now we're going to use a comma because it's on interval notation. So I should pick back up where? 16, sorry. Yep, 16, and my x got to be between who? And it stops at what? 24. Oh, that's the positive stuff. That means it's above the graph. Check the answer. Let me check it again, see what's going on. Negative 24 to negative 4. Everything is positive. From 16 to 24, it's all positive. Why doesn't it like this answer? Oh, because it wants us to include that 24. At 24, it is positive. At 16, it's 0. At negative 4, it's 0. At negative 24, it's 0. But at 24, it is. So that is what? Inclusive. Whoop whoop. Gotta watch it. Gotta talk to yourself. What is the domain? Where does the domain start at? The domain starts at what? Negative 28. And it goes all the way to 28x, because I say domain, you say x. And where does it stop at? It stops at 24, inclusive. Notice closed circles. Hey, well done. Whoop whoop. The range is, how low does it go? Negative 4. How high does it go? 6. I say range, you say y. Good. Cooking with grease should be what? 4, right? How low do we go? Negative 4 to what? 6. My bad. From negative 4 to positive 6. So you gotta be careful. Make sure you're looking at the y values. Excellent. Whoop whoop. What is the x-intercepts? Just look at them. It's what? I see minus 24. I see minus 4. And I see 16. Right there. X-intercepts on the x-axis. Cool. It's a long question. What are the y-intercepts? Can only have one y-intercept. My x is 0, so my y is what? Negative 2. Cool. Done. How often does the line y-intercept a graph? Only one. If it intercepted more than once, it would not be a function. How many times does the line y equals 1? Sorry, it says y equals 1. Misread the question. That is a y equals 1 horizontal line, so it would touch it what? Once, twice, 3 times. Horizontal line will touch it what? 3 times. What does that tell us? It's a function because it passed the vertical line test, but it's not one-to-one because it touches it more than once with the horizontal line test. Cool. How often does the line x equals 4 intersect the graph? 1. That's a vertical line. How do I know it's a vertical line? Because when you have x's by themselves, it's vertical. For what value does f of x equals negative 4? So that's saying my y is negative 4, so my x is negative 28, comma, 8. Whoop, whoop. And the question still goes on. My y is 6. What is my x? Negative 12. It's telling you to look for the x because it says x equals. So that means that this must be y. Cool. Next question. Wow. That's a long question. Let's talk about domain. Determine the graph's function by using the vertical line test. No, it fails the vertical line test because it's going to touch it twice. What are the domain and range? The graph is not a function. Got it. What is the intercepts of the function? The graph is not a function. The key word there, what are the intercepts of the function? So it has intercepts, but it's not a function. If the graph function, if the graph is that of a function, determine what kind of trigonometry it has. It's not a function, so this one was easy. Determine the graph function vertical line test. Is the graph a function? No. Fails the vertical line test. He touches it twice. It's not a function. Same thing again. Not a function. Same thing again. The graph is not a function. Same thing again. Good job. Hey, got a nice little curve. This is called a sine curve, by the way, but that's not important. Does it pass the vertical line test? Yes. Does it pass the horizontal line test? No. It is a function, but it's not one-to-one. What are the intercepts? Pi comma 2, 0, negative pi comma 2, 0, and 0, 1. They should ask for what are the intercept points. And this one's being a little picky because you've got more than one. You've got two intercepts. You have one at negative pi 0 and pi over 2. That's your x-intercept. What about your y-intercept? 0, 1 is asking for intercepts. You've got two x-intercepts and one y-intercept. Watch the question. Is it symmetrical with respect to the y-axis? Yes, because you can fold it. I call that one the butterfly. Cool. Not a function, not a function, not a function. Why? Fails the vertical line test. This one should be a function. Okay. Yes, because every vertical line intersects the graph at most one point. The domain is 0, 5. You answered negative infinity. Be careful right here. How far left does this thing start? It starts at 0. It goes to what? 5. Range starts where? Negative infinity and goes up to 4. This guy starts at 0, 5. Negative infinity be way over here. This line only goes to what? 0 right there. Let's blow it up and get a bigger picture. Hey, I like that. So be careful. Notice where it's going. See the arrow? That is not going to pass this line, this point right here, x equals 0. So my domain goes 0 to 5. That's called an asymptote. It doesn't touch 0. Cool. We'll talk about that in class. What is x-intercepts? It's 1. There's no y-intercept. The graph is not symmetric. This is called a logarithmic graph. Talk about that soon. Is this a function? Absolutely. Determine the domain and range. Domain goes left, range goes right. Is the graph a function? Yes. Cool. Whoop whoop. How far left the domain? How far left does it go? It goes open parentheses. Let's find some parentheses. Okay. Oh, there we go. Whoop whoop. You know it goes from where? Negative infinity to what? Positive infinity. The range goes, how low does it go? Negative infinity. And where does it go to? Positive infinity. Cool. Oops, my bad. Check that domain again. Domain is negative infinity to positive infinity. The range is negative infinity to what? 2. That's where it stops. It goes negative infinity to 2. I say range, you say what? Y. Let's see y. Oh, does it include the 2? Absolutely. So guess what I got to do? I need to what? Somebody answer. You should be saying bracket. Let's see if it's going to give me a bracket. I'm looking on the computer. Should be a bracket. Let's see what it says. Thank you. Gotta be careful. Take your time. You got this. What is the intercepts? How many intercepts we have? 2 x-intercepts and 1 y-intercept. My x-intercept should be parentheses, whoa, 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 got excited. Should be -2, 0. That's an x. Jump out here, hit a comma. Give me another set. It should be what? 2, 0, close it, comma, in my y-intercept 0, 1. You should be looking at the connection now. A function only have what? 1 y-intercept. Cool. Uh-oh. Let's make sure we got all the y-intercepts. That y-intercept is what? 0, 2. Because why? What's the y value right here? It's a what? 2. Duh. Uh-oh. Didn't like it again. Let's see what's going on. I've got 1, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8. We're counting by 2's. This should be a 4. This should be a what? 4. You know, I messed up just to see if you're paying attention. What a nice guy. All right. Is it symmetrical? If I fold it butterfly, then it's what? Crosses the y-axis. Remember, butterfly ends with what? Y. So it has y-axis symmetry. Cool. All right. These some long questions, but you gotta put the time in. Function, yes. Pass the vertical line test. Boom. Right? Domain goes left, goes right. So it should be what? Negative infinity, right? Comma what? Positive infinity. Hey. How low does it go? I'm seeing some. I'm gonna blow it up so I can see it. And I'm getting a little old. I see it's -1 at x equals -5. So that means my range starts at -1. It's inclusive. So the range goes from where? -5 to infinity. And it includes that -5. So I better jump back over here and put a bracket. I know somebody's screaming. Uh-oh. Domain is correct. The range is not -5. It's -1 because the range is the y value, not the x value. Cool. All right. The intercepts are how many intercepts we have? 3. I see it cross 2 x's and 1 y. -6, -4, and this is 18. 1, 2, 3. Each one of these are worth 3. 18 plus 3 is 21. 21 plus 3 is 24. So that is telling me I have an x-intercept at, I forgot. Oops. Let me go back and look so I'm not going to be wrong. It happens. -4 and what? -6. Okay. We have an x-intercept at -6, 0. I have one at -4, 0. Cool. And one more. That's that y-intercept, and that's what everybody forgets. Put that y-intercept. I say y-intercept. You say x is 0, 24. Close it. Check answer. Whoop whoop. All right. Butterfly ends with a y, so it's y-axis symmetry. Oops. Let's see what it says. The graph is not symmetric with respect to the x-axis because it should be butterflying around the y-axis. That means it's shifted over, so it doesn't have symmetry. There we go. About the y-axis. It has symmetry about the line x equals -5, but that's coming. Two more questions. Ooh, it's getting old. Is the point -1 on the graph of f? Only thing you're doing here is I'm going to bring up a special program. It's called Smooth Draw. I'm going to slide it in here so that way you can see what I'm doing. The handwriting is going to be a little rough, so bear with me for a second. Okay. The function is, okay, f of x equals what? Equals 4x squared minus x minus x minus 3. Without even thinking, it wants us to find question says, is the point -1, 2 on the graph? So my x should be -1, 2, yuck, on the graph. So that means you're going to plug in the what? -1, right? And let's see what we get here. I get 4 -1 squared minus parentheses minus 1 minus 3. That gives me 4 plus 1 minus 3. That turns out to be 5 minus 3. So that is what? 2. So the answer to that question is what? Yes. Cool. Rough handwriting, but I think you get the point. So this becomes yes. Check answer. Whoop whoop. Next question says, if x equals -2, what is f of x? Every time you see the word f of x, call that y. You're looking for the y. If x equals -2, you're going to plug in what? -2 for x. Okay? So, go back to the math. Bring it in again. What are we going to do? We're going to put in a -2 for x. So, rough handwriting again. That's going to become, oh, I'm being lazy. Find an eraser. I need a big eraser. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Whoosh, whoosh. We need a hard eraser with lots of pressure so we can erase it quickly. So I'm looking for what? I am looking for f of what? -2. And if you stick that in there, you should get 4 minus 2 squared minus -2 minus 3. So that gives me 4 times 4 plus 2, bad handwriting, I clean it up later, equals 16 plus 2 is 18 minus 3 should be 15. Let's see where we're going with this. I said 15. I think that sounds good. Whoop whoop. Now, this is where people get confusing. If f of x is -3, what is x? They're asking you for x, so what are you looking for? Y. So you come over here, where x is -2. You come back over here, and you simply do this. I'm going to Control Z, back all this away. I'm going to say y is what? Y is -3, because that's what f of x is, equals 4x squared minus x minus 3, quadratic, everybody goes left. Right? Those guys cancel. Oops, my bad. Got excited with the x. I now have minus 4x squared plus x equals 0. You know that's a red light, so I'm going to change it. That becomes a factor out of 4x, sorry, factor out just an x, right? Ooh, lordy. You know, I know it's past my bedtime, but somebody got me up doing math, but that's alright. 4x minus 1, right? So that tells me this x got to be what? 0. And this guy right here is 4x minus 1 equals 0. 4x equals 1. Bring it across, divide by 4. Bam, bam. X equals 1/4. So my two answers should be x equals, looking for my eraser because it should be positive 1/4. Way too big. Kick it down a little bit. There we go. Let's go back to MATLAB. And it should be, I'm feeling some 1/4. Don't look right, but we'll find out in a minute. What did we plug in? F of x is -3. So was it 1/4? Cool. Wrong. My math is wrong somewhere. Let me check it out again. Okay, it's tripping. Here it comes. This says where x is -2. Oh, it wants me to list the points. My bad. The point should be what? My x was -2, comma, what? 15. Done. What I just did before that was part C, which was when we put in a -3, when y was -3, go back and recall that that x was 0 and 1/4. Two intercepts. Cool. Now it says use the information produced and list the points. Well, you know they're what? X-intercepts. So it's telling you that my y is what? -3, comma 0, comma, and what else? 1/4, comma 0. Make sense? Cool. Check the answer. Whoa. My bad, that's not true. My y is what? 0. Duh. We were looking using f of x is -3. So it's -3. When y was -3, we got x to be 0, comma, -3, right? And we also got 1/4, comma, -3, because we let y be -3 to find the x's. Whoop, whoop. Now the last thing is find the y-intercept. Well, the domain, let's do old school. You should know by now that this guy here is a bowl up, right? So that means the domain should go where? Left and right. You also should know that nothing's making you nervous here. No square roots, no x's on the bottom. So that means it should all be good. From class the other night, minus infinity, comma, infinity. Check answer. Cool. The x-intercepts, gotta remember, that's a do you love me question. X-intercepts, I say y is 0. So let's go back to this guy real quick. Clear the screen, because that's just nasty. So you know that's going to be 4x squared. Whoa. That's going to be 4x squared. I'm writing with the mouse. Minus x minus 3. Minus 3. Do you love me? Nope. Bridge over troubled water. Zoom. Whoa. Okay. Right. Let's undo this. The mouse was sticking. All right. That should give me a 12. That should give me a 1, 12, 2, 6, 3, 4. I see a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive. So I'm going to use who? 3 and 4. 4x squared minus what? 4x plus 3 minus 3 equals 0. That's an x because we just rewrote your middle term. Your mama says pull out a 4x. What's left? X minus 1. What are you going to pull out here? A 3. X minus 1. Right? Bam, bam. You have x minus 1. You put the twin back because you felt guilty. I know I just did that out of order, but it doesn't matter. You set each piece equal to 0, so you should see what? X equals 1, right? Set that equal to 0. So that means we're going to do what? Subtract by 3. And this is a pitiful looking x, but you get the idea. So that gives me 4x equals what? Negative 3 divided by 4 divided by 4. Bam, bam. X equals negative 3/4. Make sure you understand that those are x-intercepts because your y was what? 0. 1 and negative 3/4. Let's go back to MATLAB. The x-intercepts are, I think they want points, 1, comma, 0, and let's make that a fraction. Okay, negative 3/4, comma, 0. Okay. Do they want the points? I don't know. So let's see if they just want this. I think they're going to want 1, comma, negative fraction 3/4. Going back and check my solutions to make sure I was right. Yep. There we go. It wants the intercepts, not the intercept points. Y-intercept, you love it. It's easy. Put in the 0 for x. Answer should be what? Negative 3. Done. And there's only one. Cool. Now, this looks confusing, but it's really not. This is a what kind of function? It is a what? Summation. So I know, clear the page, 5 new, I have f plus 3 plus g of 3 equals what? F of g. F of 3 plus fg. Horrible, but it's going to make sense. And that's a plus sign. So that tells me let x be 3. Go see what x is at 3. Same thing for g. Let's see. You got to remember, this is f. F is red. It's 3. What's his y? 0. Sorry. For f, it's 3. His y is 2. For g, his 3 is x. His y is 0. So this answer should become 2 plus 0. Let me make sure that's right. F of, yep, it should be 2 plus 0. So my answer is what? 2. This is x, this is x. Go find the y's. Add them together. I get 2. Here's another cool way to do this. How high is this guy? 0. How high is this guy? 2. What's 0 plus 2? 2. F plus g of 5. Go to 5. What is his? Minus 2. His is minus 4. That answer should be what? Minus 6. Same rule. FG minus 7. Go back and get your same thing again. I'm going to get my handy dandy sheet of paper. Slide it back over here. F minus G7. Let's get a new page. F minus G of 7 equals F of what? 7 minus G of 7, which means F of 7 is what? F of 7, F is red. When red is 7, his G is minus 6. His X, when his X is 7, his Y is minus 6. Go to the blue. That is G. When his X is 7, his Y is 0. So that tells me that should be what? Minus 6, minus 6, minus 0, which is what? Minus 6. I know that looks like a 0, so before somebody starts fussing, let me erase it. Thank you very much. Alright, let's go back and put this 0 out there. Go and get a pencil. There it is, 0. Done. So that answer should be minus 6. F minus G of 7 is minus 6. Check your answer. Whoop whoop. We're almost home. G minus F of 7, so that becomes G 0 minus minus 6 should be 6. Good. This is times. So you go find F of 3. F of 3 is what? 2. G of 3 is 0. So what's 2 times 0? Should be what? 0. Gotta think them through. Oh, F divided by G. So what is F of 5? Negative 2. What is G of 5? Negative 4. Sorry, F of 5 is negative 2, negative 4. That should be 1/2. C of 0. What's my X? 0. When X is 0, what's the Y? They're asking for Y-intercept too, right? Isn't it 80? Cool. So you're just typing in numbers. This is 80. It's going to ask for 7 more pieces. The value of C0 represents the cost per minute. Nope, that is slope. The value of C represents the number of minutes that can be used for no charge. That's not true. The value of C represents the number of minutes included in the base plan. The value of 0 represents the monthly fee. Well, let's look at this here. I have cost per dollars. At 0, when I have no minutes, it costs me what? $80. So that's my basic plan. It's going to charge us $80, and then it's going to start charging me per minute. So that should be my base plan, I think. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened there? Where's my question? Oh, my bad. The mouse is tripping. 80. Check answer. Continue. Monthly fee. Before you charge any minutes, that's your monthly fee. Cool. Don't necessarily like this question, but it's okay. Determine C of 1,000. When you add 1,000, what is your Y? At 1,000, my Y is what? 80. So I should be able to type in 80. The value C, the 1,000, which is the Y part, costs per dollars of the plan. The value of your monthly charge. Go to 3,000. I think it's 360. If you just look at the graph, it tells you when X is 3,000, my Y is what? 360. There you go. Or my abscissa is really what I should be saying. But we get the idea. Monthly charge for what? 3,000 minutes. Cool. The domain. My minutes is what? 0. And how many minutes did we use for this plan? 1410, right? Cool. X values, X values. The domain implies that at least at most, any minutes. The domain cool. At most 14,000 because that's the most you can hit. I did 14,100 because it says domain in a month per month. Cool. The graph starts off flat, then it increases at a constant rate. Cool. Be careful. That says at a constant rate. Rate is slope. A constant graph would be horizontal, but this is constant rate. After M equals, after how many minutes? After 1,000 minutes, then it starts sloping up. Hi, Hitler. Whoop whoop. All right. That should be done. Cool. It gave me 9.23 out of some points. That's because I think that was something earlier we missed. But we should be okay. That is section 3.2. Good little video. Folks, that is 43 minutes and 18 seconds. So you can replay this one and go look at your section 3.2 video. Thanks, Nancy.